Hello, I'm Franz, and welcome to the Town Hall for Concrete. It is July 2025. We are now officially closer to 2050 than we are the year 2000. So, if you haven't heard that, enjoy. Hope you're all having a great summer. I know we've got a lot of things going on, and I just want to quickly introduce a few. So 942 was released. Bunch of bug improvements, a couple of quality of life features, and we'll have Andy get into that in a minute. We're also working on the marketplace a bit. So you may see underneath you right now changes to just the flow around renewing licenses and assigning licenses to projects. Definitely a lot of moving pieces between the SaaS sites that we host and the self-hosted sites and all the different types of things we support. That whole ecosystem has a lot of moving parts. So we're doing what we can to just make it simpler to see where your licenses are, assign them, unassign them, renew them if you need to, that type of thing. So nothing dramatic, but hopefully just things that make that a little bit easier. Yeah, beyond that, pretty typical month. So without further ado, we will get into it.
So this month we released 942. If you're on 9.4, this release is highly recommended. There's a fair amount new in this. As you can see, there's some nice bug fixes, a couple developer updates, and even a couple nice little feature and behavioral improvements as well. For example, if you're using Concrete, you could, before this version, you could determine whether recent uploads or file manager was the default first option in the list via a dashboard setting. But that would basically lock you into that choice and everyone on the site into that choice forever. So not useless, but maybe not exactly what people were looking for when they wanted more of a kind of memory aspect to the file chooser. So now in 942, we actually keep track of which option you have selected. So if I go here and, for example, I go into the file manager and I want to go into hero images and choose this one, that's great. If I cancel out of that and I go out, you'll see file manager is still selected. And we actually had this functionality before. We also remember the folder that you're in the file manager, and those two features together actually work really nicely because now not only will it remember that you were searching the sort of global file manager, it will keep track, it will automatically launch you into the folder that you were in. But, you know, just because that's the case, if you want to do recent uploads and you're always selecting recent uploads, we will also remember that as well. And same thing with things like search. So if I go into search here and I look for something like blog, it's not going to remember my query string, but it will remember the fact that I was in search and all the other things as well. So hopefully that will make your experience using the file chooser a little bit better. Also, to talk about, we now include the thumbnail of SVGs in the file manager, which I think is really nice, both in the list view and the detail view. And if you're using boards in your Concrete site, in 9.4, we added functionality to make it so that you can, it will automatically keep boards up to date when you do something like publish new blog posts or do something that should appear in the board. If you're running a site that's pretty large and has a large number of boards, you may not necessarily always want that behavior. So we have also added a setting to the board settings page that determines whether that automatic refresh actually takes place or not. It defaults to true, but you can turn it off now. Additionally, there's a fair number of bug fixes with boards and some fatal errors around our new open graph functionality and some other things as well. So definitely, if you're running 9.4, upgrade your site to 9.4.2. It will make your life better. I'd like to thank everyone who submitted GitHub issues and code this month. That includes M. Locati, M. Nakale, Dan Klassen, Hishi, Jiro Enzi, John the Fish, and Milos Pavic. Thank you, everybody, for keeping the Concrete ecosystem alive and kicking. Finally, for the issue spotlight, I would love to spotlight one of the people who who submitted code this month. This did not make it into 942. It is still outstanding. And it's definitely not the first time that we have heard from Mlocati, but I would be remiss if I didn't include this as part of some kind of a spotlight, because as you will soon see, it is quite the impressive pull request. So Mlocati has been doing a lot of work with regards to export and import. I think he has a package either in the marketplace or coming soon that will actually allow you to copy blocks from one concrete site to another, which uses our CIF XML, which is our import-export format. It will actually allow you to generate that stuff on the fly and paste it into another concrete site as though you were copying and pasting, which is, I mean, honestly mind-boggling. So thank you very much for that. He's been doing a lot of work with that system in concrete, and as part of that, he has a merge request here that is testing and fixing the exporting and importing blocks from CIF and fixing the file usage tracking with that stuff. So obviously, we do support importing and exporting blocks. We know that because we have a migration tool that exports content, and the full page or the full content swap for themes, as well as the actual installation process of concrete entirely, uses that XML. So we know that the blocks work, but there are some little wrinkles with that. So sometimes blocks may not have always exported the files in a way that the importer would graciously handle. So he wanted to make sure that every single aspect of all the imports and exports was sort of normalized across all of the different ways that it could work with all the different block types. And he has listed out all of the block types in the core, and then as part of this pull request has gone through and implemented, made sure that all of those blocks don't have any weird little gotchas when it comes to exporting XML. So thank you to Mlocati. As you can see, this is going to be quite the effort to review, but I'm sure that we will get it in by 943. But yeah, this will definitely take us some time. Fortunately, it also comes with a number of new tests, which is great, and that helps put our mind a little more at ease when we get a merge request that is this large. So thank you again, Mlocati, for all that you do for Concrete CMS, this issue, other issues, so many different things. And thank you to everyone else who has submitted code and who works to make our ecosystem better. And thanks, everyone.
Hello, I'm John the Fish, and welcome to the Marketplace News. We have another bumper month with add-ons and themes from some of our regular contributors. We'll begin with the Sidebar theme by Fabian Bitter. As the name suggests, this theme places the navigation in the left-hand sidebar. It's a fairly minimalist and crisp theme. Sidebar is $35 in the marketplace. Also by Fabian Bitter, we have simple Google reviews. Connect this up to a Google account and a place code, and it will pull reviews from Google and show them on your site. Simple Google reviews is $35 in the marketplace. Another add-on by Fabian Bitter is Minify HTML. A couple of months ago, we reviewed Fabian's add-on to Beautify HTML and lay it out nicely. This does the opposite, stripping out all white space. Minify HTML is $25 in the marketplace. Staying with Fabian Bitter, our next add-on is Structured Data. Structured Data hides JSON formatted data behind a page to make it more accessible to search engines and other aggregators. Structured Data is $35 in the marketplace. Our next pair of add-ons are File System Manager and Database Manager by Fabian Bitter. These enable you to edit the underlying file system and database of your website. Used badly, they could easily open up security holes, or brick your website, or even brick your web server. These add-ons are $45 each in the marketplace. That's all from me, so I'll pass you on to Noor for the rest of this month's news.
Thank you, John, and hello, Concrete CMS community. Our next package is Image Carousel by Fabian Bitter. It is exactly as the name says. Select a file set of images, set a few parameters like the numbers of visible images per breakpoint, speed of transition, etc., and you have a fully functional carousel that's easy on the eyes. Image carousel is $25 in the marketplace. Next, we have Simple Type It, also by Fabian Bitter. Add the block to the page, select an element tag, heading, paragraph, whatever, many different choices, choose an animation, et voila, you have animated text on your page. Simple Type It is sure to look good in the hero section, and it's free in the marketplace, you happy campers. Our next package is Business Hours by Gary Brown for a change. Business Hours is a block to display work hours on your website. For each day of the week, either specify opening and closing times or disable the day if you don't work. Decide whether to show only work days or all of them, and whether to indicate if you're now open or not. It's a very handy tool for a shop with a physical presence, and it's $20 in the marketplace. Next, we have Simple Spacer, also by Gary Brown. It's a simple and potentially very useful block to add vertical spacing between blocks. Just add it where you want it and select the spacing and unit. The good thing is it offers responsive units like VH and VW, so you won't end up with spacing looking exactly the same on every screen. Simple Spacer is free in the marketplace. And finally, we have Authentication with Keycloak by Michele Lucari for VV Lab. This extremely complete system lets you log into your Concrete CMS website using an OpenID Keycloak server. This is no simple operation, and you'd better know what you're doing, but Michele makes it as straightforward as possible. Among the possibilities, you can update local user groups and attributes with the server's user groups and attributes, and support multiple Keycloak servers. And because it's built with OpenID Connect standard, it could potentially work with any server using the standard. And I can't believe I'm about to say that, but the man who never jokes about his espresso doesn't want your money, and this package is free in the marketplace. And that's it for today. Thank you for listening and taking notes. Stay out of the heat, be safe, and see you next time.
Hello, everyone. For today's Sight in the Wild, we'll be talking about WebRoot. Let's take a look at WebRoot. There's a cybersecurity company that protects individuals from online threats. Right away, you'll see how clearly they lay out their main products: antivirus and internet security and identity protection. The site is built on Concrete, which gives the WebRoot team the power to manage all of its content securely. You can take a look here. There's a nice comparison. Help me choose which plan is best, so you can decide. We're going to go on one device. Do I want to secure? Yes, let's secure my identity. Let's go premium. And there it'll tell you which is best fit for your needs, and you can add it right to the cart. It's just awesome. So if we go ahead and let's go back home here. So the all-in-one, here's some nice looking menus. Here's some free trials, looking great. So this is definitely for your high security needs. Awesome. That little chooser is a great feature to show off all of the things that Concrete can do. Thank you.
Well, all right, everybody. There you have it. All the news is fit to print, I guess, to video. I don't know. Happy July. We'll see you all again in August. I hope you guys are having a great summer, and thanks for choosing Concrete. Bye.